Sometimes your pet picks you. Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today I'd like to dedicate this piece to a very special fur baby, Koopa. Koopa is struggling right now. The veterinarian found a mass behind his ear, and so he's having a really hard time. Koopa has been there for Brianna, who is my son Sal's soulmate, and Koopa has seen her through many difficult times and some joyous times as well. They stayed with us, my husband and myself, for a bit, and Koopa was, I have no words to describe this Pity's beautiful personality and his soul and those eyes that, let you know what he was thinking and feeling. And if you're sad, he picked up on that. If you're happy, he rejoiced with you. And so a special dedication to him. If you have fur babies who have been struggling, are struggling, and for those fur babies who've crossed over Rainbow Bridge, I dedicate this to you as well. I want to use a round wooden canvas. I am using a round canvas. It is 12 in diameter. I've leveled it off, and I thought, what more can I do here to celebrate our fur babies? And I wanted to create the rainbow. And so I've leveled off the canvas, and I'm going to use a transfer, and it seemed appropriate to me, the idea of transferring from one place to another, as some of our fur babies have done that over the Rainbow Bridge. And so I'm going to pour out my red, which is Arteza. It's been mixed with just water. Let me get my gloves on. How's everyone doing? Are you enjoying this weather? Those of you who are in the cold, wintry areas, perhaps you like sledding if it's been snowing, or going skiing to some of those resorts, walking, jogging, perhaps with your fur babies. I have neighbors who actually have 2 dogs that they walk each and every day, and they also have a cat, and the cat follows along with them, and it's quite cute to watch. All right, so I'm laying down my red, the first in our rainbow. I haven't done this before, and for those who have never gone through the pain of losing a fur baby, I know that we've all suffered losses in one way or another, and so I dedicate to you my piece today, and I hope it gives you some joy, some solace as well. Oops, it kind of squirted out at me. All of the paints are Arteza, and they've been mixed with water. The ratio is about 4 to 1. Yes, 4 to 1. I'm going in with my blue in our Rainbow Bridge. I created an indigo color, and I used blue, again Arteza, with a few drops of red, and again mixed with water. Put that down. I'm going to go in with my violet. Oh, here we go. I've had many fur babies going back in time. My first was Julie, and they were mixed breeds. And then I had Tosca and Lori. I had a poodle named Stinky. And it's a funny story about Stinky. He was a rescue. Sadly, we couldn't keep him because he had some real issues with just destroying and attacking people. And we just couldn't train him. We attempted several different strategies and it just didn't work. So, but that was Stinky. And then we had Jaeger. He was our mini Australian Shepherd, and oh my goodness, just pure love, a bundle of energy. He was a mini Australian Shepherd, and mini Australian Shepherds are herding dogs. So anyone who came into our home was surely to be herded, whether it was to the kitchen or in other areas of the house, what have you. All right, what I want to do is go in and actually swipe what's here and then transfer it. But I want to torch it a little bit first just to get some of those bubbles out, not too much, because my dustpan is plastic and I fear fire and plastic would not be a good combination here. But Jaeger just bundle of energy, always raring to go. He loved the snow. Oh my goodness. Getting his snout in there and playing and bouncing and hopping and galloping and just running around in the yard. It was just joyful to watch him do that. And yes, he liked snowball fights. And try to throw a snowball at him and he'd try to catch it like a ball. It was quite funny and very endearing. And then we had a rescue, Layla. She was a Shih Tzu, and the story there was that the owners were leaving her in the yard in the cold and brutal weather and whatnot, and so she was rescued. And when we first got her, my son Sal had brought her home through an agency. He was able to bring her home to us, and when we were taking her out for walks, she would be chewing on stones and tree barks, whatever she could pick up. And that, of course, we attributed to the fact that she had been left out for so long. They are no longer with us, and those were probably the most difficult times for us. And if you've lost fur babies, my heart breaks for you as well. We all grieve in our own way, and we mourn the loss of those fur babies that touch our lives. And all they love you unconditionally, There's nothing else. All right, so I've placed a white swipe here, which is mixed with Flutrol, GAC 800, and some silicone oil. And so I'm going to just bring it across the rainbow colors, our red, going slowly to the orange, yellow, green, to the blue, indigo, and finally our violet. I'm going to veer it off. And then my daughter and her husband, Joe, my daughter Vicky, had one of the dogs that I knew at first, a pit also, Chewy, and he did not bite. He wasn't aggressive, but he had a fierce bark, and that alone intimidated you. And one of the things I remember about this real wonderful dog as well was he had broken free of the yard while at his Joe's parents' home, And oh my goodness, you know, everyone chipped in to try to look for him. But luckily, he was found by someone, and they brought him to the police station. And then from there, they were able to get him back. But that was very traumatizing, and the tears just flowed that day from everyone. After that, Joe, Vicky, and the boys, Hunter, Parker, Riley, had Luna, and Luna was precious as well. And she had gotten ill, and unfortunately she couldn't make it. So she crossed over the bridge. And then now with Hunter and Parker and Riley, there's Colton, Vicky and Joe's youngest, and so there's Mac. And Mac is a bundle of energy, but he's gotten so much better with just, listening and not jumping on people and just being a little bit more docile. But he's really affectionate and endearing. So pit bulls, I think, sometimes are just given this bad rap, and I truly believe that it's not the pets, but the owners who don't treat their fur babies the way they should. Fur babies want nothing but love, and they will love you in return. So this one is going out to Koopa, who is struggling right now. So I'm hoping all of you fur baby parents out there, and even those who aren't, please send some positive energies out for our Cooper and Brianna, his mommy, and Sal, my son, and his soulmate Brianna and Koopa. They did just recently get another pit, and she's actually quite pretty. She's black and white and has this, she almost looks like a pirate, or has a part of a mask on, because part of her face around her eyes is black, and it surrounds, and the other part is white, and they surround these real crystal blue eyes. Quite beautiful. It's for me, when I look in a pet's eyes, it's almost like you're not looking in a mirror, but it's a reflection of you. And it's almost as though they're peering right into your soul. As I said, we lost our Jaeger and our Layla. Jaeger died as a result, or as a consequence of stomach cancer. And it was very sad to watch, because at the end he would just lie in the corner and didn't want anyone to touch or even look at him. And my grandsons, Colin and Brady and Drew, who were my daughter Carrie and her husband Pat's children, would come over, and Jaeger would just sit in the corner and didn't want any part of anyone. And I remember Colin, the oldest, who's a fantastic writer, by the way. I can't wait for you to read some of his work, hopefully in book form, would come and say, Grandma, why is Jaeger just sitting there and not getting up and running after us? I said, because he's not doing very well right now. All right, so what I'm doing is very slowly going to transfer our Roy G. Biv, our rainbow color, onto that round canvas. I'm going very slowly. Just want to touch this up just a little bit. Just going to guide it a little bit through and just watch it transfer. Bring it out just a little bit more so it has almost an overlap or break effect to it. I do see some of the colors breaking through that white swipe that I created. I'm not really sure if we're going to spin it or tilt it. I may just do a tilt on this one to stretch it out a little bit, just like I'd like to stretch out my time with my own fur babies. It's so difficult to watch them in pain and suffer, and letting go is such a difficult thing to do. And my husband and I have been contemplating whether or not we want to get more fur babies. And to be honest with you, I just don't know if I can go through that intense pain of having to let go of my fur babies over that bridge. So, I don't know yet. All right, so our colors are, and I don't know if you can see the what's going on with the dustpan. And I fear that I may have made my paint a little too thick on this side. I didn't test it first, and we learn by our mistakes, the work in progress. But I want you to see the beauty of the interplay of the colors that are here. And there's just a nice blending of the green and the blue and the orange here within this blue. And then the indigo picking up some of that orange and the blue and the yellow and orange as well. So they're all really playing nicely together. Just like my Jaeger and Layla used to, actually. They were each other's best friends. I couldn't ask for better fur babies. All right, I want to add some white to help it flow. I did not prime or add anything prior to this. And I fear that the white here is actually more of a bone white, and it's okay. I think it will work out well. So I want to just get this flowing some, and we'll see where our rainbow in honor of our fur babies, and with a special shout out to Brianna and Sal and Koopa. Koopa, you just say his name, and his little face, well, big face, will kind of peer up at you, and his little doe eyes. It's like, yes? What can I do for you? He does have some arthritis and joint issues, as well as some seizures that he'd had. And he's had those for a while. And he was on medicine for that, anti-seizure medicine. What is it? And I noticed it when I had Jaeger and Layla, if they had to take any sort of medicine at all, it was like, no. You know, you put it in those little treats, and they have the pill treats or whatever they're called, little pill pockets, and you put the pill in there. And we would do that for Koopa in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock at night while my son and Brianna had gone to work. That was, you know, one of my things in the morning. So I called up, did Koopa get his pill? I was like, yes. He spat it out and thought I wasn't watching. And then I would try again, you know, try with some cheese. And sometimes it worked, and sometimes it took a little bit more effort. But I didn't mind at all. Not in the least. Love Koopa. I love Cora too. Their other kitty, who is, I think she's about 7 months old now. And she's a bundle of energy, but her eyes just, you know, it's that look into the soul. All right, I want to tilt this a little bit. Our bridge. I don't want to lose all of that blue. I like the wispy effect that's going on there. I'm going to tilt it toward you a little bit. And then down. And just watch colors actually crossing over one another. think what we're going to do is give it an additional swipe while I touch some of the edges of our Over the Rainbow Bridge piece. And I hope the colors bring you peace. Very, they're chakra colors with the exception of the indigo, which is not in our chakra, but here nonetheless. And I hope the chakras bring some positive energy to Cooper, who's, as I said, not doing well right now. So do keep him in your thoughts. All right, I think I want to swipe it one more time in here, just to see if we can get some more depth to the composition. Okay, I'm putting that mixture onto a palette knife and taking off the excess. I'm just making sure I cover the entire bottom so it doesn't lift any of the paint off the canvas, and the cell activator in there will work. Again, I use Flutrol, GAC 800, and silicone oil. All right, let's see. I think I want to start here. I'm going to place it lightly down. It's going to go at about a 1 to 2 degree angle. And I'm going to go very slowly to give time for those cells to activate against the paint that's beneath it. I'm going to continue swiping through. I think I want to just have it veer off into another realm. All right, let me just step back, see what else I want to do here. I think we're going to give it a stretch. I like the effect here with the green and the blue and the indigo, but I think I'd like to see if those will interplay with the red and the yellow and the orange and the green on that side, because nothing is finite or clearly defined. Sometimes there's no reason or rationale, and things happen and take their course, I suppose, as they're meant to, much as we protest and wish it were different. Sometimes the cosmos intend otherwise. All right, I'm going to give it another swipe here because I'm really liking the effect that's going on here. So let me add some more of that swiping white to this. I think next time I need to add a little bit more paint to my shovel or dustpan, excuse me. And perhaps using smaller ones might get a better composition. But overall, I think this piece is going to work. Please let me know what your thoughts are. Subscribe to my channel. Leave some comments for me. Those are greatly appreciated. Again, you cannot leave the comments unless you have subscribed. I want to take off some of that excess. That's what that tapping is. All right, let me go in gently down, and I'm going to go slowly and just swipe through. And I'm going to go this way and this way and have it veer off into infinity. All right. I want to blow out some of those bubbles. I love this here because it has an ethereal flow to it, that perfect combination of that rainbow effect in the composition. My homage to Koopa and all of the fur babies out there who have either crossed over the rainbow bridge or are struggling right now. This has almost a wing effect to it, and how beautiful is that? My Jaeger and Layla with their wings, and Luna and Chewy. I love the vibrancy that's going on here. When I take you in for a close-up, I hope you'll be able to see what's going on in our over the bridge composition. I want to stretch it a little bit. I think I'll bring it toward you so you can see the magic that is happening with our Over the Rainbow Bridge tribute this morning. Angle it just a little bit. Just want to see what's going on. What I want to do is actually blow out some additional bubbles and see if there are any more cells before we stretch it anymore. Yes, the cells are really starting to open up. There's some lacing going on here as well. Actually, very brilliant. And I love that pop of indigo that's happening over here. And then it has all of the colors that are picked up here. And then in our center, which, if you can see, would be our focal point. So let me just tilt it a little bit because there is a lot of pink at the very edge and a lot more white than I really want. So, tilting just a bit, I want to bring it toward me. And just watch it slowly go. Go to the side. I want to bring it back. And I want to go the other way and get our focal point back centered. A focal point being right here, where all of the colors are interplaying against that lacing and the cells that are going on. And I'm glad that I carried the swiping palette knife through on the edge because it's carrying the colors. They're very muted, but I think as they dry, they will continue to expand. All right, I want to try to bring that little extra red over there. That's one big glob of paint. All right, that has some real nice cell structures. I'm seeing here the white swipe has brought out or expanded out that indigo and the blue, and it's real pretty. All right, so I just want to make sure my sides are, or the diameter is on point. I want to blow out one last time. This is really unique, and I just want to take you in for a close-up because in that corner there is a dog, wolf, though it has the beak of perhaps the eagle, but I'm seeing wisps here of purity and natural depth and detail for our special tribute entitled Over the Rainbow Bridge. Koopa, this one's for you, sweetheart. Thank you so much, everyone. Please do subscribe to my channel. Be good to one another and yourselves.